Hey guys, welcome back and I hope you guys are doing well. Today's video is yet another one with a kind of a weirdo lens again. This is a Panasonic 26mm f8 lens that I'm actually recording on the Panasonic Lumix S9, and I bought this as a kit lens, probably as a free add-on when I actually purchased the Lumix S9 back in November, and this is how it looks. Now this is an f8 lens, so it's a pretty slow lens, and also it's pancake and as well as no autofocusing built into it, so it's pretty much a manual only lens where you have to kind of adjust the knob in front of the focusing ring to kind of get the focus back and forth. And this is how it looks. Now I'm actually recording it in the cinema 4K just for a specific reason, because it's a little bit cropped in when I kind of put the MP4 format, light format I would say. Hence I'm actually using in the cinema 4K so that the DCI 4K is actually kind of cropping in a little bit from the top, and also the borders are a little bit wider enough, and that looks a little bit good enough in my opinion. I'm actually recording in a LUT profile that is actually from the Panasonic itself, like various LUTs. You know how to play around LUTs with the Lumix S9 with the app. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but this is actually being recorded in Cinema 4K MOV format in the LUT picture profile, which I'll probably put that LUT format on the screen. And I'm actually recording at 30 frames per second at f8, and the ISO is 2000. And the reason why it's at 2000, because this lens is pretty slow, so you have to kind of bump up the ISO a lot to kind of make sure it actually shows up pretty well. And the focusing is also a little bit weird. You have to kind of zoom in, crop in, and then probably see how well it's actually focused in. So I just did it before I kind of did this, and the only problem with such a lens is that you cannot kind of move back and forth. So I really don't know until unless I see if I'm in focus or if it's not really in focus. I need to just check, because when I just come a little bit close, I can see that either it's in focus or not, but I really can't tell right now because the screen of the Lumix S9 is small. But even though you kind of can zoom in a little bit and see how well it actually looks, but that's a problem with the manual only lens. So you cannot really say 100% that you are in focus until unless you go check it back in the video a little bit later. I did a sample recording just a day back to just kind of talk about this particular setup, but later when I just finished it and I went to my computer and just started looking at the footage, I realized that it's completely out of focus. And probably this is the only problem when you actually use something like this. But if you want to just kind of use this probably at a manual kind of an approach, then you probably must have a bigger screen or an attached monitor through which you can actually say whether you're in focus or not. But when it actually comes to the overall picture, I feel like the pictures do look pretty much decent enough. I did carry this a couple of times to various places nearby to just kind of take some sample photography. You can get good results, but of course this is a little bit of a fixed lens, so if you want to just kind of take the photos pretty much with that aperture in bright sunlight, then you might have to increase your shutter speed a lot. But this is how it looks now. I just wanted to kind of do this just for use case of testing how well this actually looks in the video perspective. But again, as I said, autofocusing or focusing is something that will be troublesome for someone who doesn't have good experience around this area, and probably one among them is me, because I never used much of the manual focus lenses with any of the cameras that I used. So yeah, that's part of it. I mean, the benefit that you get out of this particular lens is that it's pretty much compact enough, so that means you can carry it quite easily wherever you go. You need not worry about bringing a ton number of lenses. But of course, it's a fixed focal length, fixed aperture, one focal length, so that means you are just bonded to one setting all the time, and that's about it. And let me know what you feel about this. Now the next video is probably going to be the 16mm from APS-C perspective on the Sigma with the Lumix S9. That's going to be the next video. Probably after that I'll be doing the 30mm, and I believe this covers all the prime lens focal length. This could be just like a talking head shot, not really like doing a cinematic footage or something like that, because these prime lenses are basically meant for that, and it's not something like you want to just kind of take it outside and do all that stuff. It doesn't really matter a lot, because for that focal length and for that aperture, I believe majorly those lenses are more of talking head shots, except the 56mm. Rest of them fall in that category. Now that actually concludes this video. Let me know what you feel about this. I mean, do you or will you actually consider buying this? Probably, if in case you're given it for free, then you can actually pick it up. And one more thing before I conclude this video, I actually adapted a filter thread on this particular lens because this lens is pretty much exposed. There's no cap or anything as such on this particular lens. So if in case you would want to just use it for longer term, then I do suggest getting this particular product link in the description. It's not affiliated, go check it out. It actually allows you to adapt 58mm thread on this particular lens with some 3M tape and all, which is actually pretty much good. It looks as if it's native. And yeah, that concludes this, and I will put on this cap and finish this video. Let me know in the comments what you feel about this. Take care and bye bye.